Look, we're going to turn now to Miss Robbie, who is here in Birmingham with us. Good evening to you, ma'am. How are you?
Good evening, everyone. My question is in reference to heir property, and just want to make sure that the property stays in the family. It's been in the family probably maybe about 100 years.
Wow.
And or maybe more, but so we're just afraid that it could possibly be lost, and just want to see how to protect that property and keep it in the family. What would be your suggestion or advice?
It's a great question.
Listen, I was a real estate attorney a long time before I was an estate planning attorney, so that's right up my alley. But yeah, heir property, so the best thing you can do is have a will or trust, because if it goes down to one set of heirs and then one of those passes away, it starts going, and then it becomes almost impossible to clear the title. So it just can be insurmountable to clear that title. So the best thing to do is to plan in advance. You know, that being in your family so long, so we just have to look at those on a case-by-case basis and see what we can do if it's going on. But plan, because that will prevent heir property.
That's good. You had a question for him.
Yeah, John,
yes.
we bounced around with wills and trusts, those two words already tonight. Will you give us just from 100 feet up the difference between doing a will and doing a trust?
Yeah, to answer that question, you really have to kind of do a quick definition of probate.
Okay.
You know, probate is at the county level, and it's where a will is proven.
Okay.
So a
The
trust,
courtroom.
yeah, a trust, you don't have to do that.
Oh.
So a trust, think of a trust as your own rule book. Well, if you write your own rule book, you're not going to have the probate judge, you know, take time to review it. You're not going to ask everybody to sign to admit the will.
Right.
So it's more, we call it your rule book. It's a living trust because you do more while you're alive, and so you're putting your assets in. I always describe it as a box. So if we got a box sitting here, you put your house in, you put your money in, and it's going to avoid probate. And a trust does a little bit more of that. It consolidates, it organizes. It saves money. It's a little bit more involved to do, but not too terribly much. But we still do a lot of wills,
Right.
as people they know wills,
Right.
but we still do a lot of trust. And trust come in a lot of different flavors. You know, revocable, irrevocable, supplemental needs trust, asset protection trust.
Right. And John, trusts are just not for the rich and famous anymore like we used to think of them years ago, right?
No.
A lot of people can use these trust vehicles today, can't
Oh,
they?
we do a lot of them. They just hold a house.
Right.
Because that's usually the biggest asset. You know, maybe an IRA or 401k, which has already got a beneficiary. But we just do a lot of residence trust. You know, people want to avoid probate on their house.
Right.
So that's a good thing to do.
And you can still direct through that trust who you want to get what and how you want it to be done.
Yeah, you can write it just exactly how you want it. It's
That's right.
your rules.
Great tool.
So let me
Great
ask you
tool.
this very quickly. So is that the main reason I would want a trust, or if I'm wealthier, would I necessarily want a trust as opposed to a will necessarily, or not necessarily?
If you're wealthy, you usually have more moving parts. You may own, more pieces of real estate. So a probate's going to be more expensive.
Okay.
So if you own property out of state, a trust is a no-brainer, because every state you own property, you have to probate in that state.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Yes.
Kirby knows lawyers. May not be licensed in every state.
Yeah.
Right.
Now he's got lawyers that are licensed in a
Yeah.
lot of states, and my wife is licensed in Alabama and Tennessee. But
Yes.
lawyers are not like financial advisors and life insurance, where they do business across state lines that much.
Yes.
Ferris Riley Pitt is probably an exception to that, because they do things more places than we do. But so a trust is good if you own a lot of different properties or a lot of different accounts, or if you have an LLC that has a business, that kind of
Trust is
thing.
the way to go. Okay. We are learning a lot. We are
Great.
learning a lot.
Thank you, John.
Yes.